the hell's going on here?
Everything is for a reason here, Dad. This is the no fun podcast here, Dad. No giggling, no laughing, no BS.
The No BS podcast. Whatever. You gonna have a pour?
You don't want to be a couple of drunk fools. I'm Perry, and this is my Bourbon podcast. Welcome back to another week. And I got somebody here who just may be a little special today. It's the birthday boy. It's Papa Ritter. Happy birthday, Dad.
Hey, Perry.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you. You know,
happy birthday.
You gotta love your birthday,
and you do, don't you?
I love my birthday.
Good.
I was. A beats the alternative.
Amen to that.
And you know, it's just your special day.
It is, and this is your special. It's your special day. So here we go.
When is this going to air?
When is this? The day after your birthday.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
It's not. Yeah, so we're not technically recording on his birthday.
No,
whatever. That's fine.
No, but it's still. It's birthday weekend.
Exactly. It's been a good day too. Good Friday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You had a great day.
I did have a great day. Yeah, so for anybody who's been following our house hunt, mine and Lucy's house hunt, we put in an offer last night, and it has been accepted, and yeah, we're going to be moving soon. So everybody's very happy about it.
We are very happy.
We're going to be back.
It takes a long time to find a house that you want, and
boy, did it.
You know, and you found one, and
happy about it.
So we saw it Kathy and I saw it last night, and just, you know, we loved it. So
good place.
Yeah.
Wait until you guys see the view too.
The view awesome. In the bourbon room is going to be something else.
No kidding.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. Cats by 90.
Been waiting a week to say that.
All right, so we're going to get the show kicked off with our newest segment, Flying Blind, where we either try something we've never had before or something we've had in the past and want to revisit. And in this case, we've never had this before, and heck, it's not even a bourbon.
No.
It's a beer.
It's a brew.
It's an ale. It's not a beer. It's an ale.
Yeah.
It's New Belgium's Oak Spire, which is a bourbon barrel ale. It's aged in Knob Creek barrels.
And I found it in Kroger yesterday.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty psyched about it.
It was an expensive six-pack.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks, Mimi. Anyway.
9% alcohol by volume, so 18 proof.
Son of a gun.
This says, a special release from two craft pioneers, smooth notes of toffee, vanilla, and caramel. Now, I got to be honest with you.
Talk to me.
Jim Beam is the one who produces Knob Creek. I wouldn't really consider the world's leading bourbon producer to be a craft pioneer.
No. I wouldn't either.
So that's kind of a load of crap, but whatever. I want to try this, though.
I'm dying to.
It smells awesome. It smells really good.
Oh, it really does. Here, cheers.
Hey, cheers. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that a lot, I feel like.
Woo! It's good. It's heavy.
It's a little bit heavier than I was expecting it to be. But, man.
It's got a good finish.
That is flavorful.
Yeah.
That toffee is really prominent.
That's what hits you there at the end.
Mm-hmm. The vanilla, not so much, but
No.
the caramel is I feel a little bit more obvious, too. But I think that, the toffee is right up front.
Yeah.
And it's really good. This is, I think, this is a perfect time of year for this beer.
Yeah.
It is. Early November, getting into
the holidays.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
But
it's just a little heavy.
Fair
I like
enough.
beer.
You
know
like stouts, though.
No, not that much.
I thought you did.
No.
Oh.
No. I like lagers and
IPAs.
IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
And I like ales as well. But, I love the New Belgium products are, as we know, great.
Yeah, of course.
That's the Fat Tires and, whatever they put out. They always have a summer release. It's always good. Blue Paddle or something like that. And it's always they're always good. They make a great product.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a fan. Definitely.
I am too. I mean, I'd buy it again.
Yeah, I'd like to actually pair it too with a Knob Creek pour at some point, but now is not the time for that because we have a lot to get to.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, we are going to jump right into everything, and I think that we're going to keep things a little light.
Okay.
But I still want to kind of chat about celebrations and about fun.
Okay.
Because
I like to have fun.
I like the Tin Man. But I think that this is a good opportunity to talk about bourbon and its influence and involvement in celebrations and fun.
Okay.
And, a lot of times we talk about how bourbon is like, it can either be something you sip every day or it's every once in a while or, you use it to, you break something great out for a celebration or something. So we're going to kind of talk about that as we're pouring through the evening. But I figure it's time to pour our first glass.
The first glass.
Are you ready for this? Dad has no idea of any of the things that I'm about to pull out for us.
This is completely.
It's like your birthday.
I know. It's like my birthday.
It's like your birthday. So the first thing that I brought for you to try.
Do I shut my eyes?
No reason to.
Right.
This was a bottle that I split with our good friend Chad Perkins. So if it's Bourbon Night. This is a 1978 bottle of Jim Beam Black.
Son of a biscuit. Holy smokes.
Yeah. It is aged 101 months, charcoal filtered, 90 proof.
Wow.
Yeah, you've not had this yet.
No.
Yeah.
What year is this, dog?
1978. How about that?
It's a 40-year-old bottle of bourbon. I mean, I know that on the Mimi episode that we had old ones, but shoot.
Have you ever had anything that's old before?
What did we think that the? No, I don't think so.
I don't think there's.
I think everything was early '80s and
early '90s. Yep.
Shoot, man.
Hope you're ready for this.
Crap. How is it?
I want you to find out.
I know.
I'm not going to tell you. So let's get our Glen Cairns ready. Or Glen Cairn.
Excuse him. Here, you do.
All right, I'll pour.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I told you, it's your birthday.
This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool.
For the birthday boy first. I'm like all fired up today for some reason, too. I think it's because I'm still running from the the workout high or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let's do
I had
it.
a really good workout, too. Oh, my God. Oh, my golly. Now, this would be something that you do keep back.
Mm-hmm.
That you keep back for something like
today.
Or, your high school friend from Chattanooga comes in town and you want to break something out and say, sit back.
Christmas.
Sit back, you Scotch drinker, and enjoy this.
What do you think about the nose on that, Dad? It's not overly musty.
It's not at all, and it's not overly powerful.
But it does kind of have a little bit of a funk to it, though. Like kind of a mossiness, but...
How long has the bottle been open?
A couple of months. I have half of it. Chad has the other half.
Where did he find it?
I found it.
Oh, where did you find it? Just around.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. I understand. I know where you didn't find it.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not find it here. You're right. It still maintains...
You didn't ask me what I've been drinking.
Oh, I didn't ask you what you've been drinking. Hey, let's back up a little bit. Dad, what you been drinking recently?
Okay, well, recently it's been Special Reserve. Evan Williams single barrel, the 2010 barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You got me a bottle of, excuse me.
08.
The 2008.
Yeah.
I have not opened that. And then just little things around. I'm standing in my bar as I always do.
I saw you have been enjoying that Bond and Lillard a little bit too. The one I got from Turkey, Bond and Lillard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also got another bottle of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You like it that much?
Yeah.
Nice.
I do like it.
Nice.
I like that. I got plenty of bottles of McKenna, so I'm fine with that. I think the two finds that I haven't talked about is the old Barton's Bottled and Bond.
Oh yeah, yeah. You mentioned that on the live stream at one point.
Yeah,
too.
And I love the early times Bottled and Bond too. And I mean, like I kind of when I'm sipping, I kind of compare the two, and I don't know. I like them both. I like them both a whole lot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've really gotten into liking these Bottled and Bonds because they are amazing. And you know, once again, the Barton's is a bottom shelf.
Mm-hmm. And early times is
close to a bottom shelf.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's still very good. I still haven't gotten a bottle of the Samuels yet. I need to do that. I know.
You're missing out there.
Dude, I know it.
So on this week's live stream, I did a whole slew of uncorkings, or fresh cracks. And I tried that. Stop. I tried the Elijah Craig back age stated 12-year-old that I found, and it was pretty good. It wasn't amazing, but it was good.
Yeah.
What else did I try? Oh, were you watching when I tried the really bad one?
No, I wasn't on long.
The Spring Mill bourbon.
No. Ooh.
Oh, it's terrible.
No.
It's from Indiana, I think. But hey, there's some good stuff coming out of Indiana. MGP, you know.
Yeah.
But this was not good. I'd never seen it before, but it was really cool. It was in one of those kind of it was in like an old ceramic looking bottle. It's at Kroger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have it at the liquor barn too.
Oh, do they?
And yeah,
it's not worth
it. Behind the.
Why?
I don't know.
It's just $30.
Like it's a big deal.
I'll text Chris and ask him why it's back there, or Brad. I don't know. Anyway,
let's try this, baby.
Yeah. So, in honor of a celebration.
Ooh.
Cheers, y'all.
Bottoms up.
Mm.
Ooh. It's got a little musk to it,
but not too much to deter from the.
Not too much. It's got it's oh man.
It's opened up so well since I got the bottle too,
and it's got a lot on the front end.
Lots of spice, lots of heat on the front end, but once it gets towards the back, it starts going kind of chocolatey.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those standard like caramel and vanilla flavors, but there's also something else that's kind of laying underneath too that I can't quite figure out what it is.
I'd be interested to see what Chad has to say about it. That's good.
Oh, he loves it.
Does he?
Yeah, we tried it on their live stream a few months back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good cover there, Dad.
Thanks.
Good job. Yeah.
Thanks.
No, man, this is delicious.
Wow.
And at 90 proof, I mean, it drinks like it's a lot heavier. Like it's been in, been in the barrel for a little bit longer than that. It
tastes like a 96 proof.
Oh, or higher. I would say it tastes more like
100,
like it's 100.
100 plus.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just over.
Once again, I can't get my proofs right.
It's just over 8 years old.
Yeah.
So it spent about 8 years in the barrel. So that may be why we're tasting it as a little bit heavier, but it's pretty dang good.
It is really
not
really,
bad,
really
not bad
good.
at all. Yeah.
No, I mean that's.
And this
and of
is
course not produced anymore.
Well, Jim Beam Black is. It's like their black label, but it's not 90 proof. It's not 101 months, Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I like this better than most of the regular Beam products that are out right now.
I don't know if it's the beer, but there's some sweetness. I think it's this.
I think so too, because we both drank water before we had it. And it's kind of it's very specifically like sugar.
Yeah, there is a sugar taste to it.
Like kind of a clumpy sugar, like what you get on top of a funnel cake. I was thinking funnel cake. Yeah, little fella couldn't be here tonight. Okay.
I know, and he had a night that he had too much funnel cake. And
that's a great story.
And
we'll save that for another time.
We'll save that for him. Tell us the funnel cake story, Dave.
But it does kind of taste. It does kind of have a like fried baked good quality to it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just floored by how well this is kept. You know,
I can't believe it.
I can't either. I mean, especially considering some of the crap things that we had when we were with Chad and Sarah.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's okay. It happens.
Now I have all that crap things, and I don't know, like, you know, take the hit off of it now and then, and, you know.
I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be fine.
Damn, that's good.
So, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Like I said. Celebration, right? So you said that you had something.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Yeah, I got this the other day.
Okay.
I mean, it's like... Yeah, let me clean out my glass.
Okay. We have more than one glasses.
Dude, I know.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Not to go far.
He's going into the... So while he's doing that, let's talk, too, about, you know, celebrations and appropriate times for breaking out the good bourbons. One of the... Wrong closet? Yeah. So one of the things, too, that people like to do and have been doing a lot recently is buying up bottles of Old Forester birthday bourbon. And, you know, maybe it's their kid's birth year or the year that they got married or met their significant other, whatever it is. That has kind of become synonymous with... Is that, I saw what it was, but was it the Twin Oak? Uh-huh. Yes!
Yeah, go ahead.
It's so good.
Have you had it?
I had it with Trey Zoller.
Did you?
Yeah. Did you know I did an episode with Trey?
No.
One of the founders of Jefferson's?
No.
Oh, Dad, you got to listen to it.
All right, I will.
It's a good episode.
Okay. I've been listening to damn Twin Peaks to podcasts, and they're good. Those guys that do the 119, I got into where I like them.
That kind of happens with podcasts.
Yeah.
You got to give it some time, and it comes around.
You know, as you all know, I love Twin Peaks, and
Yeah.
but I mean, this is new. They talk about every second of every show, though. It's like, God, come on. But they have had some insights on things that I had never heard or thought of before.
Sure.
Like I told you that the guy in the Laura Palmer, that's a pick, isn't it?
It is a pick.
Yeah, it's a pick.
I didn't know they did picks of the Twin Oak. It's a liquor barn pick. Anyway,
the guy that was in Carrie Pages, which is Laura Palmer in the other universe, he was one of the guys that was the hoodlums that tried to get the money from Janie in episode whatever 7 or something like that. And
this is lost on so many people.
Some Twin Peakers, if you're not with us, I understand that. This is not one of my picks, but I really suggest you watch every episode of Twin Peaks.
It's not one of your tips and bits?
Not my tips and bits.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. So I want to go back a little bit, too, to the celebration thing. And I think what's cool about, like, the Old Forester birthday bourbon is that it's kind of catered to celebrations. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's inherently a celebration bourbon.
Right.
And, I mean, what do you kind of consider to be, like, a celebration bourbon? Is it quality? Is it price? Is it...
Quality.
Yeah?
And I'm not trying to sound like I do have a price range.
Sure.
I do. I was in the liquor barn this morning, and I picked this Private Select up.
Oh, the Superfecta.
The Superfecta.
It's supposed to be real good. It's a maker's pick.
It's a maker's pick. I'm sorry. And they also had one of the new Woodford special picks or whatever, and it was $128. That's out of my price range.
I'm good.
And I'm good too. Not that I'm not knocking it. I'm just like, I just can't do it. And
we've talked ad nauseum on the podcast about our feelings towards Woodford.
Yeah.
So go back and listen to old episodes.
But anyway, quality.
Yeah. I think so too.
There's lots of quality I have right here on this floor.
Sure. And I think too that when you find a product that is good enough to warrant the price point, you know, I mean, that also becomes something special, something that you want to save for special occasions too. Because nobody's drinking, not anymore at least, Pappy 15, Pappy 23 every day.
But the experimental collection from Buffalo Trace, we've talked about this and we've had it on the show, and it is a special occasion.
Sure.
It is not one of the $500 bottles. It is not. I mean, I picked it up at a place that had it on sale. It was probably one of those that had the red dot that went through it and all that stuff. I don't care.
Sure.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't think it was great, but that's just me. I mean, again, taste is subjective.
Your taste is different than mine.
Yeah, and you know that
your taste is better than mine.
I don't know about that.
I think I do.
Well, but I mean, again, it kind of goes into, you know, you kind of have to establish what you consider special. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, we were talking about this today too. Not everybody's palate's going to be exactly the same.
No. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I had never had Stag Junior before until last Saturday.
And you loved it, right?
And I loved it. It's hard as hell to get, but I loved it. I would pay for it.
Yeah. You wouldn't pay secondary, though, would you?
No.
Because that...
Oh, no. No. I don't believe in that anyway.
Yeah, because that sometimes goes for, like, you know, $150, $200 on secondary.
No, I don't like that idea anyway, a secondary market. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would rather get things from a store,
the primary seller.
or the primary seller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's just me, because I know I'm getting screwed if I do.
Good point. Yeah.
I mean, it's just. Let's open this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's try this this Twin Oak.
I'll do it. You
want to do it in front of the mic? Let's see what the cork pop's like here, folks.
I spilled it everywhere.
Great. Oh, that was a great pop.
Oh my.
Yeah, you haven't even had it in a glass yet.
Here.
Don't shake.
I'm not. You pour. You pour it. Man, they filled that bottle right up to the
Yes, sir,
top.
they did. So I have an
This
overfilled.
Is amazing.
I have an overfilled bottle of Special Reserve.
Oh, do you?
Right now too. Yeah, it's all the way up to the bottom of the cap.
Yeah.
And normally they go about halfway up the neck, and I just love finding bottles like that because it.
Not too much.
No. I got a little bit less than you. It's all right.
Take some more.
No, it's fine. We got a lot of.
Oh shoot.
We need to pace ourselves here because there's some kickers coming your way.
This is
here
a 90 proof.
Yeah, this is.
It's typical Jefferson's 90 proof, you know, and.
Oh. That mocha on the nose. I talked about this with Trey Trey too. Excuse me. It is like mocha heaven. On the nose.
So I think it was $75.
It's a great price for it.
It's a perfect price for it. I mean, same as the private select from Makers. It was $75. Yeah. It's worth.
And again,
it's worth it.
Yeah, and I feel like this strikes me as again not being a. This isn't an everyday drinker.
No.
You know?
No.
I mean, this is again something that you may put in the back of the closet or at the back of the bar. Forget about it for a couple of months. Come back and you're like, oh my gosh,
I forgot about this. But okay, let me ask you about everyday drinking. Do you think that Henry McKenna Bottled and Bond is an everyday sipper?
I think it was. I think it was until the price point got hiked up. You know.
Yeah,
but. You know, when it was readily available at $30, the fact that it was a 10-year, 100-proof, $30 bottle of bourbon, $30 really is not that much.
No, really, it's not.
You know, but I think that's also at the cap of everyday drinkers.
Right.
You know, Woodford's kind of in that range, too.
Right.
46 Maker's 46 is kind of in that range. It's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that everyday drinkers kind of fall between the $15 and $30 range.
Right.
And I mean, it also again has to do with quality.
Sure.
But I definitely think that McKenna, before it won the award that it did at San Francisco earlier this year, and before people started hiking it up to $50 a bottle, it was worth. It was a really good everyday drinker. Now we're
it's totally different,
and now we're hoarding it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to deny it either. I mean, I have 2 or 3 unopened bottles. It's the same thing with Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond.
I've got 7.
Yeah, I
got 7.
I have 5 or 6 unopened ones.
And
too,
I've got 4 unopened bottles of Heaven Hill. I need to try that Evan Williams Bottled and Bond that you talked about.
Yes, you do, because it is a great replacement for Heaven Hill. It's not perfect. but it's good though.
This has got we just both took a sip.
It's very woodsy.
It's very, very oaky, woodsy.
Well, I mean, it's Twin Oaks, so it doesn't surprise me.
But it's got a lot on the back, which is different from the
one we just had.
That we just had that was all in the front.
This hits me more in the middle.
Does it? Mm-hmm. I got it right on the back.
Yeah. There's what is that? There is some honey.
Yeah.
It's like you took a spoon of honey and it coated your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a very strong vanilla note towards the back of your tongue as well.
And the honey's like on the top of the roof of my mouth, towards the back. I don't have an uvula.
He got that removed.
Because at the time it was just listen to me. Don't do it. Don't have your uvula removed, and I'll tell you why.
Welcome back to Ritter Rants with Dave Ritter.
How are you? Uvulas. Why you should have them? The doctor that took mine out, I had my tonsils out when I was 30, and he said, "I can take that." You snore, and I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Let's take your uvula out too," and I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." It was the worst thing I could possibly do. It was hard to recover from, and I have a hard time clearing my throat, and I'm constantly.
That was lovely.
It's gross.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, listeners.
But anyway, so I'm wondering. I wonder if it would be different. What the point I'm making is, I wonder if I'd had an uvula, if it would be different or not.
There's citrus on there too.
Yep, and you can tweet me at that if you. I'll give it out later.
At JD Ritter too.
You know, I've had like Instagram followers.
Have you really?
And Twitter followers just from here.
Awesome. That's great.
And I go, what? And I look at them like, okay, Bourbon.
Hey man, look,
Bourbon people.
People love you being on.
I appreciate it.
And then there's one guy who doesn't. But that wasn't a critique of you. That was a critique of the show as a whole.
You know what? He can kiss my ass. I don't care. You know what? I am who I am. If he doesn't like us, if we're drunk buffoons or whatever, I don't care. We have fun,
and that's what it's supposed to be about. We're supposed to have fun.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, at my age, at 53, I don't care.
My buddy John Edwards from the Dad's Drinking Bourbon podcast. I was on the phone with him today.
Damn, that's good.
And he goes, "This is the sign that you made it." And I was like, "Okay, John."
Well, if that's the sign that we made it, then we're in.
I'm good.
That's good, Betty.
Betty?
Buddy.
I think he said Betty.
I love you, Betty. Buddy. That's Caddyshack. Danny. Betty.
Anyway.
I'm sure there's people out there laughing their asses off.
Sure.
Knowing they got it. So I'll put this away.
All right, you do that, and I will pull out our next celebratory pour. We're jumping up in proof a little bit here. Okay. More than a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you.
Hold on.
So,
Can I come back?
Yes?
I had E.H. Taylor last night, too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Small batch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bottled and Bond.
Yeah.
It's
love that bourbon.
It's just fantastic.
So good.
I mean, that's what I was saying. The quality that I have, that you have, that Chad has,
Yep.
you know, on our floors and our displays and everything. That's what you bring out with your friends.
Well, and you know, Freddie Johnson is
Happy birthday, Freddie! Today's his
Freddie
birthday.
Johnson's birthday is today too,
Yeah.
and he's 73 years old.
He doesn't look it.
He doesn't look a day over 60.
Absolutely not.
I mean 50. I mean,
I'm
he looks good for his
43.
age.
He kicked both of our butts.
I know he could. I hope to be going as strong as he is when I'm his age. So,
Me too.
Happy birthday, Freddie
Happy
Johnson.
birthday, Freddie.
So, our next celebratory pour.
Yes, Barry.
This is a bottle that I stumbled across recently. One that I had never had before, and is quite good.
Okay.
This is a 2016 release of Booker's.
Oh.
It's Booker's Bluegrass. It's the first release from 2016.
Oh. Damn.
This is another one in the
Oh, my rocking chair's right down
the
there.
realm. Oh, is it? Yeah. This is another one in the realm of save it for occasion pours.
Booker's is a save for vacation. Save for a celebration.
Well, vacation too, if you
if you want
do
to
it the right way.
I mean, save for a celebration because it is all those releases, and I'm behind on this year's, but I mean they're all good. What?
All of this year's releases have been exceptional, and their newest release, the last release of 2018, was just announced. Like I think within the past couple of days to a week.
So it'll be out between now and
I mean,
Christmas probably.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it'll be out before the end of the month.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I loved the 03 release too, the Kentucky Chew. I thought it was phenomenal.
The
03, 2018 03.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you had it?
I don't think so.
I should have brought that.
That's okay.
But, I mean,
no,
we have
this is good.
one.
Oh, shoot, man.
6 years, 11 months, and 0 days.
Look at the bottle.
Old. Absolutely. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, heck yeah. You know, I'll tell you all a story real fast. When I didn't understand what I was doing, and I was just trying different things, and wanting to kind of expand my horizons a little bit. I was in, and Booker's was getting ready to expand their prices,
jump way up. Yeah,
yeah, and so they had. Have we talked about rocking chair?
Off the rocker? No, I don't know if we've talked about it on air.
Well. I bought 2 bottles. Did I give you a bottle?
No. You gave me Front Porch Batch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, and it was crazy because it was almost like, it was the next day and prices went up. And I got 2 bottles of the Off Your Rocker. I finished one. I have one. I think it's opened down here. But those are, once again, you save those. Thank you.
So, what's
the proof on this?
127.9.
Oh, jeez.
I want to let you know, from here on out, all bets are off.
Oh God. I hope I can cook. This is freaking unbelievable.
Yeah. It's real fruity.
Yeah.
And I love these older batches of Bookers. I love being able to sample them or have them around for, whatever. This is definitely getting stored away.
It has to be.
For a little bit. I think you're right. There is a lot of heat on it, but it's so sweet, too.
It does have a lot of sweetness to it.
I think that this is one of the...
Everything that we've had has a different taste hint of sweet to it.
And it's going to...
Even get sweeter.
Well, maybe. We'll find out. Who's to say?
I'm scared.
But
and once again, it hits you in the back. It kind of jumps over the front to me a little bit.
The finish is incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
That it has all of that Kentucky hug hanging out in the middle of your chest. I mean, it's so flavorful. It lingers forever, too. And this, this is that kind of quality that I'm looking for in a celebration pour. You don't want something that's just going to fall flat. You don't want it to just hit 1 or 2 marks. You want it to be really well-rounded.
Now that time I just got a little something on the front too.
What'd you get on the front there?
I got heat on the front. And a little I got a good spice to it. Can I tell a celebration story?
hold on, I got butterscotch on it that time. Oh, it was really good. And then some brown sugar with the oak towards the back.
Rolling Stone.
Dang, this is so good.
It is good.
This is one of the best Booker's releases I think I've maybe ever had. But anyway, celebration story.
Have I told the story on the podcast of the Christmas Eve and the Miller ponies?
I don't think you have.
Can I? Okay.
Gather around, everybody. Story time.
It's Papa Ritter story time. So I was a junior in high school, home from the Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee for Christmas break, or winter break now. And on Christmas Eve, we used to have, and we've talked about my Aunt Ann and Uncle Jim, who Aunt Ann had the Old Forester. And
Old Fitzgerald,
excuse me. And anyway, it's Christmas Eve, and we're getting ready to have everybody over to our house.
Not a creature was stirring.
Not even a mouse. And we were getting ready to have everybody over to our house. We'd either go to the Clay's house or we'd come to our house for Christmas Eve. So everybody was coming over to our house. And my father said to me, I want you to be in charge of the ice.
I know. Okay, I know the story now. I don't think you've told this on the show before. I love this story, though. It's so funny.
And I said, "You're on." And the ice we have at my parents' house, like the main part of the house, there's an attached garage and laundry room, and that's where we had the back refrigerator and freezer and all that. So he goes, "There's plenty of ice in there. When the ice bucket gets empty, I want you to go back and get some more." I'm like, "That's fine."
Knowing full well what was also back with the ice.
My parents would go to University of Kentucky football games, and they thought the most refreshing thing after a football game was a Miller High Life pony.
It's the champagne of beers.
It is the champagne of beers.
Actually, kind of like High Life.
You want to bring some for Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Absolutely. They still have them.
Oh yeah,
just for the heck of it.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe tell Mimi this story.
Has she never heard the story before?
I don't think so.
Heck yes, this has got to happen.
So it's gonna happen. so anyway, so Dad tells me to make sure that the ice is filled. I'm like, sure. So before they get there, I go out to the refrigerator and freezer, look in the refrigerator. Hot damn! There's Miller ponies in there. Screw off top, Chug it back. Now, mind you,
boy of 16.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I was going to tell
you.
you.
Exactly where you were going with that.
So
drink responsibly.
I'm like, I was at home. So I was like, okay, we're off and running. I think I had to make, and for a young 16-year-old, I think I had to make at least 5 or 6 trips out for ice that night, and
quote unquote had to.
And I remember, like on the last run, I was sitting there in the chair going, "Whew." And I think I made a point on Christmas Day to either get up early or make sure I was the first one that got out to the trash can so I could take it out. So nobody would see. This is before recycling days. And the best part of the whole thing was my father looked at me on Christmas Day and said, "You handled yourself very well last night."
He knew.
He totally knew.
The man knew. I know he knew.
He totally knew. Anyway, that was 1980.
80.
Yeah, 1980.
Yep. Well, let's take a quick break.
Let's take a quick break.
Let's start that over. Let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This is the second week that we've had a sponsor on the show, and
the first one when I'm here.
Yeah, we are so happy to have the Restillery as the first sponsor of This Is My Bourbon podcast. And many thanks to Davin Shaw and everybody who is running that. They build lamps out of used bourbon bottles. They sent me a gorgeous lamp that is cool. It's a Blanton's bottle sitting atop of a barrel head, and it's surrounded by the Blanton's corks.
Nice.
So it looks like
So you have them all?
I do, but they're all in the barrel head.
I know.
But yeah.
I understand that. But
yeah, it's beautiful.
That is so cool.
You can go follow them at the Restillery on social media, and they also have their holiday charity event running on Facebook right now. And they are accepting bids on different lamps made out of rare bourbon bottles.
Really?
Yeah. And whoever wins the auctions gets to choose the charity that their money is donated to.
That is so cool.
So you can check them out on Facebook, again, on Instagram and Twitter. The link to the charity event is actually going to be in the description for the show. Again, huge thanks to Davin and everybody at the Restillery for being so cool, for being our very first sponsor. Again, we are going to have them on the show eventually and more about them in the future. But we got more celebratory pours.
Let's do it. Can I just...
yeah, throw out what you were going to throw out.
If anybody needs any of the horse corks from Blanton's bottles or wants to trade, I think that in what I have in the back,
you're about ready.
I think I'm pretty close, but I'm not. I'm just too much of a chicken to look and see and cheat and see what I've got. But if anybody needs a T or an L, I'll trade you.
You got plenty?
I've got 2 of each right now for trade.
Yeah.
So I mean, if anybody wants to trade for something,
what do you need? An O?
I got no
first ends.
I got to know.
There's 2 different ends. You know that the ends are different, right?
Either one of the ends.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants to trade, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll give it at the end of the show. Let's go.
At JD Ritter too. Okay. So
welcome to Backyard Trailer.
So the next pour, you're going to need a clean glass for. I'm going to go ahead and say that much.
You're going to say that for...
No, we can. Actually, no, I'm going to hold on to it so I can get the full shot for social media.
I got a full glass. I got a clean glass.
Good. So
Perry has a clean glass.
The next pour...
Oh, God.
Was my 2017 bourbon of the year.
Okay. It's Elijah Craig.
No. This is last year's William LaRue Weller from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
Son of a bitch.
Another thing Dad's never had before.
You know, Dad always breaks down at least once during the podcast.
And now's that time, so here we
go. Oh, man.
And
it's a what proof?
128.2.
God.
This was absolutely the best bourbon of last year.
Yeah, Lucy's here.
I'm pouring a little bit for you.
That's fine.
It's
that's fine. It's rocket fuel.
Yeah, and this is speaking of celebration bottles. Well, this is like right now,
Jesus,
the king of celebratory bottles.
I understand that.
You know, it is highly allocated, of course. The quality on it is just above and beyond anything. It's 12 years old. Again, 128.2 proof.
It's 12 years old.
I mean, it's by and large, I think it's the best whiskey that I own.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And this year's release, hoping to get a bottle of.
When are we looking at all that coming out?
Soon.
That's what I thought. I know.
Yeah.
I know we're very close.
I mean, we're in allocation season.
That's
right
what
now.
I thought.
So, this is. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you think about this. But this is
Thank
another
you very
one.
much.
Oh, of course.
I mean, thanks for sharing. I appreciate it anyway.
We got one more left for you too. Easily. Oh my gosh. Easily the best smelling bourbon I've ever experienced.
Easily the easiest to smell. By the way, I got Lucy another bottle of Hendrix.
Oh, great. Cool.
Even though there's Tanqueray in there. She thinks there's not. It's not the stuff that I cut with water.
Okay. Story for another time. That's for the responsibility episode. I haven't broken this out very often.
I don't blame you.
I mean, this was, you know, like on occasion I've been like, you know what, Chad and Sarah, let's have some William.
I understand that.
But like, you know, this is kind of my celebratory pour for closing on the house.
Yeah.
Or the offer being accepted on the house too. And you know, I mean, this will be around for me for a while. I mean, this could be, you know, the first drink I have after, you know, my first kid's born.
Right.
Or, you know, when
totally get that.
Christmas pours or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, it's so funny because bourbon runs in so many different directions. I mean, what we were talking about earlier too is that there are those daily drinkers. There are those that you kind of don't have to think about as much because they're not necessarily simpler, but they're more readily available, or you know, is just something that you can sit back and again not think too much about.
Right.
This though,
man, this is
is saved for when
the special
good
occasions.
when good things happen.
Yeah.
You know, birthdays,
Christmas, holidays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joining a church.
Which you're actually about to do.
Yeah.
Very soon.
As on
officially
Sunday, I'm officially joining
our
Calvary
church.
Baptist Church.
Yeah.
And I'm the last holdout.
Which sounds like you weren't going to do it until something changed. And unfortunately, our pastor's leaving in February.
Yeah. And he has such a history with our family.
Yeah. I'm happy you're doing it before he leaves.
Yeah, me too. I was not going to wait.
Yeah, of course.
He baptized all three of you all. He didn't marry Kathy and I because we were not. He had just joined the church at that time. He's done our my dad's and Kathy's parents'
Both
funerals.
my grandparents. Yeah, all three of my grandparents have passed away. Yeah. I don't want to get too much into it, but that's fine. Anyway,
let's not.
This bourbon smells really good.
I'm joining the church because it's time, and I really want to be part of it.
And it's home, too,
and it is home.
You know.
And I told him when I texted him the other day, I said, I'm ready to join our church. And I also told him I'd wear my best bow tie.
Anyway, so this William LaRue Weller, which Dad has just taken a sip of for the first time.
Gosh. Small amount of heat. Not much. Sits on the back. Oh. But then you get a creep in the front.
And then there's the finish. That Kentucky hug.
That's that tea-berry.
Is intense. Tea-berry?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. You and your highfalutin.
Listen to me.
Whatever.
Wow, Pear.
No, it's so full-bodied.
God. Whoa.
What are you getting now?
I don't know. it's you get like this grab at the end, and I can't figure out what it is.
I love how layered it is.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it starts out with a little bit of that heat, but as it kind of works its way through, that's when you start developing or start finding those sweet notes. You start finding the caramel and the vanilla, but then there's also that really, it's like a burnt brown sugar.
Yeah.
Almost with a little. I just keep, the more I talk about it and the more I taste it, the more I'm getting like different things. And there's like a pecan flavor to it as well, like candied pecans.
The reason why I agree with you all the time about this is because I'm trying to figure out the tastes that come out.
You're processing.
I'm processing everything, and I'm getting everything at the time that you say. Hope these people don't think the drunk buffoon doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Man, it's so good, though.
You know who's been really cool? Is Monica.
Oh, Monica, yeah. She's been great.
I mean,
she loves when you're on the show.
She's always... When I was on the live stream on Tuesday...
She's like, hey, David.
She's like, happy birthday. Yeah. I'm like, it's not my birthday yet for another week. She goes, it's still your month, isn't it? And I'm like, you are awesome. She's so cool.
She is fantastic.
She's so cool.
And shout out not just to her, but anybody who is, of course, around all the time. And she is one of our patrons, of course, too, at patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. But that's beside the point. Anybody who wants to help out the show and is so invested in, you guys are the best.
Yes, you are. So, anyway, she actually sent me a Facebook request.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm friends with her too on Facebook. Yeah. If I'm not,
there's a reason why I say that. I'm starting to I think I'm going to kind of open up about that a little bit more.
You don't have to immediately. But, hey, I think this is the best thing we've had so far tonight.
So far.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got one more.
And it's got a good caramel to it. You getting that too?
Like a dark caramel.
A dark caramel.
Yeah. You say caramel, I say caramel. Let's just call the whole thing off. How about that? Okay, so our last celebratory pour.
Do I need it? What do I need? Rocks?
Well, no. This is a Glencairn situation here.
We got a situation here.
Actually, I'm going to clean out the one I just used.
Right.
So this is another one that I recently acquired. This is a 2018 release of a bourbon that we both love.
Okay.
It's a little bit different from what we normally have of it.
Okay. I got a celebratory thing I'm going to tell you in a little while. I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
You have had a pour of this before, but you have never had this year's release of Colonel E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the coup de grace of the evening.
Holy!
This has not been opened yet.
It is 129.7 proof.
It is indeed.
Oh my God! It is uncut and unfiltered. It is
beautiful.
Smashing.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this bottle.
You really want to open that?
I want to open this.
Crack that mother open. We're still recording? Yeah. Can we keep this in? My best friend Don Sebastian's dad passed away. Oh, I don't know. Probably 15 years ago. And
hi, Patreon.
Hi.
My mic's over here.
Every year he would say to Don, "You know what? It's the UK football season. This is the year for UK football." And he would go, "You know, man, you don't know what you're talking about." So if he was alive, this is the year.
This is the year.
This is the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, go ahead. I'm not going to talk sports.
No. That's fine.
No.
This is, so again,
hey,
Colonel E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, the 2018 release.
When have I had this before? When have I had the...
We had it with Chris and Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brian brought he brought a sample of...
That's right.
I don't remember which release it was.
That's right.
But he brought some. But anyway.
We've had it right here on this here show.
So
this here base.
Fresh crack, guys. Here we go.
It's beautiful.
Beautimus.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to let you do the honors.
Okay.
Now, this is definitely one that's going to be stored away for a while. Yeah. I'm gonna say that much. Pretty excited for this.
Oh.
Did we just step into the Buffalo Trace Distillery and into their rick houses?
I think so.
That is freaking incredible.
You know,
my goodness.
This is a store. You keep this.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
When your first kid's born.
We'll bring that back out. Oh, yeah.
Dane and I will smoke cigars that night.
I'll smoke a cigar that night.
Oh, Perry. Now tell the backside, the backstory of this. The backside. But when'd you get it?
Recently.
On that.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
I like not to disclose my
understand
my secrets here, but
magician Phil Dunphy never tells.
We got to talk about Modern Family a little bit later. We'll get there though. Not on the show. That's an off-air conversation, but
it's just a goofy season. This is awesome.
There is this really specific green note to it.
Yeah.
Like oak leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And it pairs really nicely, of course, with the actual oak of it being a barrel-proof bourbon. But
you honestly feel like you're in the rick house.
I know. It has those like just the smells that are emanating from the barrels.
Yeah.
You know, as the angel share is being as it's escaping. And man, if
you've been there, you know what we're talking about.
Nose alone, this is making my short list.
Top of the list.
For 2018's Bourbon of the Year. But let's find out what the palate's like, though.
Get back, feller. Did you get like peppermint?
Peppermint, peanuts.
Yep. Peppermint
chocolate.
Hit me yeah.
It's peanut. It's chocolate covered peanuts.
It's a Reese cup.
No, because it doesn't have like the creaminess of peanut butter. It still has like the regular, like nutty quality of peanuts.
This peppermint taste is still in the back of my throat. I think it's the molasses.
Yeah, definitely.
But
caramel's definitely present too. Man, this is...
Dang, Perry.
I told you we had one really good one left, and this was...
Son of a gun.
Now, put up against the WLW. How do you feel? Because my thoughts are that it's almost two completely different ball games.
Sure it is.
I mean, it's football to basketball.
Yeah.
You know.
When it opens up,
it's going to be incredible. It's going to be, because I'm kind of getting some underlying like floral notes to it as well, and I think that the longer that it has to aerate, the more that's going to come to the forefront. And it definitely has, some of those standard bourbon notes to it as well. But it's so interesting because it just mingles so well together. I bet that this would pair incredibly well with a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I think it would too.
I think it would go.
I think it would too.
And I think that would help bring out some of the darker notes. And even because Reese's would wind up being somewhere in the middle of that palate with that sweetness.
You want one?
But
you want to try it?
We'll do it. Do you have one right in front of you?
No, Sarah will bring one down.
Oh. Yeah, all right. Sure, why not? But I think that it would find flavors on both ends of the spectrum. From the lighter notes to the darker ones too. I mean, this is just... I almost don't want to have another drink of it because I'm afraid that it's going to go away too soon. You know what I mean?
I know.
But, dadgummit, this is good.
I mean, this is awesome. Could it be one of the best ever tasted in this house?
I'd say it's up there.
I'd
say it's up there.
Two of the best that we've ever had were tasted
had
today.
Tonight. Maybe 3.
Maybe.
If we throw in that 78 beam, that's not an out of reach pour there for you, Monica. She knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. I don't. Wow.
And again, the more it's open, the more I'm smelling it. There are those floral, kind of grassy notes to it as well, but it is so layered and interesting.
Have you seen the new glasses that have like they're engulfed like
the Norling glass?
Yeah.
Are
they the new? I don't know if they're the new.
No, they've been around for a couple of years. Yeah, Chad and Sarah use them a lot.
Do they?
Yeah.
Those are cool.
So you want to know something funny about those?
Sure. Is it funny haha or is it funny?
No, it's funny cool, which is it's the second time today that you've asked me that question.
On the air?
No.
Oh.
Period.
Yes.
So.
Period.
Lucy, my wife,
my daughter-in-law,
is notoriously not really a bourbon drinker.
Nope.
And we went to the Bottle and Bond Kitchen in Bardstown from the Bardstown Bourbon Company. We went there just kind of for a weekend getaway. And I had ordered Turkey 101 in a Norland. Well, it came out in a Norland. I just ordered Turkey 101. And the whole thing behind the Norland is that it's supposed to remove the heat from it.
Right.
It's just supposed to isolate the flavor.
Right.
And she tried it in the Norland glass. Doesn't like Turkey 101. Tried it in the Norland glass and goes, I would sip that.
Shoot, man.
I would drink that regularly. And I was like, we found it. It's like we figured it out.
Well,
and
Sarah liked it.
Yeah. Sarah loved Turkey 101.
Not in the Norland glass because she hasn't tried it yet.
Again, as it's just sitting
now
there.
I'm getting another kind of a sugar taste, a sugar note to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's kind of that powdered sugar, but it's almost like brown sugar. You know, like it's not quite as, I don't want to say pure because that's not the right word, but it smells more. It smells more complex than just like white powdered sugar. Has it opened up that much since we've been? Really?
Yeah.
So what are you getting now that it's been sitting for?
I'm getting more of the citrus, like you were saying. I'm getting a lot more of the sugar. I know.
It's just incredible.
I wish I had something.
Something what?
I wish I had one more thing to open the.
Nah. No, it's fine. This is a good way to cap off the off the episode.
Hold on.
Oh, are we actually being?
Yes.
Are the Reese's actually being delivered now?
Hi.
Hello, sister.
Here, step up to the mic. Oh, dear. This is Sarah.
This is Sarah.
She's also on.
I've been on the podcast.
You've been on the show before. Yeah. This is going to be on Patreon.
Oh.
That's fine. Yeah, I have a lot of police officer Patreon subscribers.
I'm in my 21st year.
We'll count it. We'll count it. It's fine. Thank you for bringing those down.
Why did you need them?
To pair with the bourbon.
Can I try it?
Well, sure.
Okay.
Do you want to wait until later?
No.
Okay.
No or yeah?
Did you say no or yeah?
No.
No, you don't want to wait until later? Or?
No, I don't want to wait until later because
Okay.
I have to drive later.
She says.
I brought one for both of you.
Thank
Can
you.
I have a little more?
Absolutely. I'm going to let you pour it.
Yeah, okay.
So that it doesn't get on my laptop. Hey, this is good, though.
God dang it, man.
This is one of the...
Once again, did I get too much?
No, it's fine.
Did you
Seal
choose
that.
your news?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We did that at the top of the show.
Well, congratulations from me.
Well, thank you, Sister Sarah. Which sounds like you're a nun.
See what we're
But,
doing?
Auntie Sarah.
Oh, to you, mate. Hello, pet.
So we're pairing this.
Let's crinkle away from the mic.
Oh, I want everybody to hear.
Some
high
ASMR,
quality audio here.
Some ASMR Reese cup.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
We were called two drunk buffoons.
That's a story for another time. We'll talk about it later. So what you do, take a bite first, and then you take a drink of it.
Split it in half.
I am.
Just a good old Reese cup.
Good old Reese cup.
Okay. I'll be darned.
So drink it while you kind of had it in your mouth while it's kind of coated your tongue.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well,
You knocked it back.
I did not. There's only a little bit left in there.
It eliminates all the heat.
Everything.
Oh,
Yep.
it's delicious.
It becomes really... It isolates some of those citrus notes. And isolates some of the... Sarah just cheers the glass with her Reese's. Isolates some of those oakier notes, too. I dig that.
I dig
That was
it
a really...
so, dude.
Yeah, I'm happy I kind of threw that out there.
Yeah.
Glad I saw your message.
Me too. That's how you do it, man. That's how you end it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that about does it for our
Well, I'm glad I was here for the end.
topic.
Don't ruin your dinner, kids.
It's going to be a good one.
Don't ruin our dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with the chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We're
Okay,
not,
great.
Mom.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
See you upstairs.
I've been kicked out. Bye.
Bye.
Laters. Well, anyway, that about does it for our main segment of the show, kind of our topic and celebratory pours for Dad's birthday.
That was
so,
fun. That
Dad,
was
again,
fun. I was going to
happy
tell a little
birthday.
celebratory story real fast.
I thought you did. I thought that was
I
the
had
Christmas Eve story.
I had one more.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Well, both Dane and Perry graduated from college this year. Yeah?
Yes.
What you need?
Nothing. Go ahead.
And
Huh?
can I have a dab more?
Of course.
And the night before your graduation,
Mm-hmm.
I go, man, I need to just open up something that I just can save by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I had a bottle of Weller Antique. It went right through, like, they graduated. You graduated early May. Dane graduated late May.
Late May, right?
I finished it up that week. I mean, it was the perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great like way to end like the conversation
I mean, on Friday night before you graduated. I cracked that open, had a glass, kind of sipped through it the rest of the month of May, and the last sip I had was the Saturday, perfect, the Saturday night of Dane's graduation. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Well, Patreon, thank you all for watching over here. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast is where you can check out this video if you would like to do so. It's available from patrons all the way from $1 and up. And that is on a monthly basis, of course. That really helps us going every single month. So check that out.
Are they helping? I mean, are you getting hits from it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. It's been great. Patreon's,
no,
Patreon's been wonderful. You guys have been awesome. And that's
thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you guys so much. But
I'm just...
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
We got a lot to talk about.
Anyway, thank you, Patreon. So,
see you soon.
Yeah. Bye. So that does it for our topic of the evening, which is less of a topic and more just kind of hanging out. But anyway, we're going to move into one of our last segments.
We've just been hanging out and
for the most part. So we're going to move into one of our last segments of the show, which is Tips and Bits, where we recommend things for you to check out that we've been enjoying recently. So, Dad, do you have any tips and bits this week?
Well, y'all know, love my music. Not going to talk about Pearl Jam tonight. I did listen to 10 yesterday.
For the first time in a while, or
no, first time in about 3 weeks.
Okay, so a while for you when it's considered.
Well, the thing about Pearl Jam is I listen to shows more than I listen to studio albums.
Sure. I mean, that's how I feel about
whomever. I mean, I feel
Grateful
like
Dead. And
I feel like a live album or a live recording, you get more, especially a live show. A live album sucks because you're getting bits and pieces of different shows thrown together. Anyway, there's a great podcast from Relics that Perry and I listened to this week. I listened to it yesterday.
I didn't even think about that.
With John Mayer, talking about Dead and Company, and
the Grateful Dead,
his
in
feeling
too.
about the Grateful Dead, and what brought him to become a Deadhead. And he's throwing out dates of shows, and I'm like researching. And go, I got this. Heard a great. Wait, go ahead.
Do you like the part where he was talking about Dead shows as trading cards,
yes,
as baseball cards? I thought that was awesome.
And that's how it used to be.
And that's what I was going to say, too, is that is kind of lost on us as this generation of Deadheads. It's that we can access everything.
And when I was getting into them, it was trading cards. And I didn't understand all that stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's it. I just thought it was cool.
It was cool. It was cool. All right, 2 bands that I'm getting into, and you all just shake your heads, I'm sure.
I'm doing it right now for no reason. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Reason. I freaking love the new And Justice for All box set from Metallica. I gave it to myself for my birthday.
You've been on a Metallica kick.
I'm on a Metallica kick.
I think it's kind of funny.
I love them. I always have. I mean, I was interested in them when they first came out, like especially when this album came out. The other band that I've kind of started listening to, and I know this is super damn heavy, is Mastodon. And they are...
Whoa!
Yeah, they are amazing. Dane and I were talking about them about a week ago, and they're like an orchestra. And those heavy metal bands, I mean, they can play like...
Oh, yeah.
These 16th notes that are just amazing.
When I was learning to play guitar, I had conversations regularly with Danny Williams, who was my guitar teacher.
Great guy.
Yeah. No, wonderful. And we would talk about how so much of heavy rock and metal music was based on old classical music.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was so funny because I didn't, those turning points?
Yes.
Where things just click for you and you just understand it. That was one of those things for me with music, is that understanding that everything is interconnected even in ways that we don't understand. And the fact that you can go, oh yeah, classical music kind of paved the way for heavy metal.
It really did.
Yeah.
I mean,
it blows my mind.
Everybody thought that Mozart in today's or the 70s scene would have been a punk.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, listen to some of that classical stuff. I mean, I love classical music, but Mastodon is something that is a band that I've thought about listening to for a while. I've gone from like the last time we talked was Springsteen, Nebraska, to Mastodon, Emperors of the Sun or whatever it is, Sand. Amazing band. Give them a listen. The other thing is, we were talking about this in the gym today. If you have never seen the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
the original,
not the Donnie,
not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp,
which has a totally different take on, which is more towards the book than it is the movie. You ought to watch it because there's some dark stuff in there. There's some funny stuff in there.
It's weird.
It's weird. You'll cry. You'll laugh. You'll freak out. Anyway,
it'll move you.
Yeah, it's a good it's a good movie. It's campy. As I always say about things, it's dated.
Yeah.
But I've seen it on the big screen multiple times when I was young, and it's a freaking great movie.
So my tips and bits, my first one is I just watched. I've been kind of putting this on the back burner until today. There's a very short Book or No documentary on YouTube that had to have been from early to mid 90s, where it's basically just kind of walking through his legacy with the Jim Beam distillery and everything. It's really cool, really interesting just to focus in on that one master distiller and the impact that he had, not only on that brand, but just kind of on bourbon as a whole. It'll be linked below in the description notes of this episode. The other one is a movie that I've also kind of been putting off for a while. And it's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's one of those that, people are kind of divided on and everything. But I just watched The Watchmen. And it was the ultimate cut.
The Watchmen.
Yeah, it was the ultimate cut. So it was like, all the unedited stuff, or like the movie that you didn't see in theaters or whatever. It's really good. I don't understand why it gets the bad rap that it does from some people. It's just like, I understand why it lags in places, but I still have. I really enjoyed watching it. I thought it was a really cool take on the modern superhero genre. So kind of two separate ends of of the spectrum for me with tips and bits. But anyway, that about does it.
Wait, do you have a shout out?
Do I have a shout out? No, not really.
I remember when we were at Chad and Sarah's.
Yeah, I know, that was a weird thing that you
Why was that so weird? I thought it was kind of cool.
It just caught us off guard.
That's why I did it.
No, I don't have a shout out this week. Do you have a shout out?
Nah.
Okay, great. That was our newest segment. Shout outs, maybe? Anyway.
So I think we shouted out a lot of people.
We did, yeah. So that about does it for this week on This Is My Bourbon Podcast. Dad, I got to say to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, pal. I love you so much.
I love you too.
It.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So if people want to follow up with you on social media, where can they do that?
JD Ritter 2 on the Twitter, Ritter 5 on Instagram, and maybe hit me up on Facebook.
That's a hard maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think that for the most part, the folks that are listening to this are cool enough I don't mean to say cool enough. I mean, are safe enough.
He's going to send you a Survey Monkey survey, and if you answer 8 out of 12 questions correct.
Not.
Just kidding.
Anyway. I think that most people are understood why I said in the past I didn't want to be hit up for friends on Facebook, but I don't know. I've kind of loosened up a little bit on that. And
as long as you're not a Russian bot.
Yeah, Monica and I are friends on Facebook, which I appreciated her friend request, and so there you go.
There you go. Well, if you want to follow the show on social media, you can follow us at My Bourbon Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can head to bourbonshop.threadless.com, where we currently have a 25% off sale and free shipping on all orders over $45 U.S. or $80 international. And that is going to run through the end of November, and that's, just kind of saying thank you to everybody who supports the show. We appreciate it, of course. You can also head to, as we mentioned earlier, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can help us out and keep the show rolling as usual. That is one of the things that helps us out the most. And a huge shout out to all of our patrons right now, because you guys are awesome. As I put up a post recently, too, just kind of thanking them and saying y'all are doing everything right, and appreciate everything that you guys do for us. But also give us a 5-star rate and review on iTunes, please. That is another thing that helps us out so much, getting more people to see us. That'll push us towards, more recognizability on iTunes, so that more people can hear the show, of course. Thank you to everybody who listens to the show and stays up to date with us every single week, every Wednesday. This is, as always, one of my favorite things I get to do on a weekly basis. And another one of those, too, is my live stream on Tuesday nights over on YouTube. And you just search This Is My Bourbon Podcast on YouTube. You'll be able to find it every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That's another great way for you to come and hang out with me.
You're not having it this week? This coming
well,
week?
no, I'm not, because that's your birthday. So
when
that's
will
going to be
replace
rescheduled.
that?
It's not going to matter to the people who are listening to on this, because this is a Wednesday show.
Not.
Maybe it'll be Thursday. Maybe it'll be Wednesday. I don't really know yet. We'll figure it out.
I might drop in and just say hey.
Okay, great. Thank you all again so much for listening. Dad, happy birthday.
Thank you, Perry. I appreciate you
Cheers
having me on the show as always.
Cheers to you.
Cheers again. Love you so much.
Love you too. Next week, we're going to have an interview that I did with Dixon Dedman of Kentucky Owl that I recorded a few weeks ago. That is a great conversation with him. You're definitely not going to want to miss that. So tune in for that. I'll see you on Tuesday night on my live stream. I'll see you next week for our new episode. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is My Bourbon Podcast.